Okay, guys, welcome back to the channel. Exciting announcement here from Anthropic. We have Fable 5, which is Anthropic's new model. If you're anything like me, you get extremely overwhelmed by the amount of AI updates and changes there is. So the reason I picked Claude is, number one, I love Claude. But number two, just so that I could just stick to one channel and one LLM. ChatGPT released their codex and stuff, and I haven't even touched it. Why? Because I can't go down another rabbit hole. I'm in this rabbit hole, and I'm going to get good at this rabbit hole. So today's video, I want to try and make you understand, or help you understand what this new update can do, and most importantly, what it can do in the real world and how it can make you money, save you time. Because at the end of the day, that's all AI should do, is make you money, save you time. So let's get stuck in. So here we have it, Fable 5. It's the strongest Claude that you can actually use. So Stripe handed it a 50 million line code base, a job a whole team takes 2 months to do by hand, and Fable 5 finished it in a day. And it's sitting in your model picker right now, to a degree. So I'm going to show you what it is, how to switch it on, how to get the most out of it, and the jobs where it leaves Opus behind. So Opus is the current model that's probably set on your Claude right now. And of course, I'm going to sort of show you how to change it, and for certain tasks, what tasks it might be more suitable to, and what tasks it's probably going to waste your credits and waste your money. So like I said, 50 million lines of code in Stripe, 3 times more often it reached the final act of hard strategy game than Opus, 95% plus of sessions run on pure Fable 5, full power, no handoff. So as we come down here, you can see the new tier. Let me just put up a little drawing thing here. Fable 5 sits above Opus. Anthropic put it in a brand new tier called Mythos, so you might be familiar with the term Mythos. That tier sits above the Opus class on raw capability. Watch where it lands. So you can see here, if I'm pronouncing this right, Haiku, fast, quick, and light. You have Sonnet, which is every day, the daily sort of driver on common, easy tasks. And then you've got Opus, which started to introduce really heavy-duty tasks. You probably noticed one day when you woke up, you done a prompt in Claude and it just produced something incredible. Opus is what got a lot of people to go, whoa, this is the best platform ever. And then it's had some problems since, and it's not performing as well because maybe they're waiting to launch this. And then you have Mythos class, which is the new, the next level, the cream of the crop, and it's the strongest Claude ever made public. So Fable 5 is the version, that new class that they've made safe enough for all of us to use. It's locked twin. It's called Mythos 5. So what does that mean? Well, we get Fable 5 as common folk, same brain with safeguards switched on. This is the one in your model picker today, and it's the most capable Claude that's ever been open to everyone. Whereas the restricted one, Mythos 5, this is locked, so it's the exact same model with cyber safeguards lifted. It's kept to government partners and cyber defenders. So people like Anthropic and ChatGPT and stuff, they have partners like Microsoft and all the big dogs that they allow the strongest model to go to. For the simple fact that it can find vulnerabilities, if it can find vulnerabilities, it can also create vulnerabilities and cause obviously malware and all stuff even more serious than that. So you won't have it and you don't need it either, right? So the same engine is underneath. The safeguards are the only thing that separates them. So when you open Fable, you're driving the same model that the top businesses' labs are actually using. So step one, you want to turn it on, switch it on in 2 clicks. No setup, no waiting list. It's right there in the drop-down box of your chat. So you open the model picker at the top of any chat. So when you open the chat, you will see which model in particular that you're using. I'm actually sharing Chrome here, so it won't show you the actual Claude app, but you'll know how to do it. Open a chat, and down the bottom, you'll see the little drop down. It will be Opus, it will be Sonnet. You choose, obviously, Fable 5. Here's the key, most important parts of this video. It's free on Pro, Max, and Team until the 22nd of June. At least that's the knowledge that I have right now when recording this video. After that, you'll use credits for it for a while, until they open up more capacity. So it's worth using heavily this week. Go all in, use it, create stuff. Absolutely rip the advantage out of it, right? Number 3, building with API. The model name is Claude Fable-5 at $10 million in and 50 per million out. Not dollars, dollars, but per million out. So that's just for anybody that needs the API element. Step 2, how it actually works. Well, One safeguard worth understanding: Fable is so capable that a handful of topics could do real damage in the wrong hands. So Anthropic built classifiers that watch for those particular topics. If your request touches cybersecurity, biology, and chemistry, or copying the model itself, Fable quickly hands that one reply to Opus 4.8 instead, and it tells you when it happens, so you watch the journey. So let's say you prompt anything, it does a safety check, and then 95% of the sessions stay on full power with Fable 5. Anything under 5%, Opus 4.8 answers instead. Now this is critical because I'll give you an example. I was using it earlier for what is normally a simple task. It's not a simple task, but it's an okay task for Opus to handle. I thought I could just go in and let Fable take over that particular task that had all the context and do a better job. It didn't. It immediately identified it, and then it ended up just being Opus 4.8. So I had to get my prompting better and stuff like that. So you might notice that as time goes on that you have to get better with prompting with it. So the handoff fires under 5% of sessions, and they've set it cautious on purpose. So once in a while, harmless questions get passed to Opus. For normal business work, you'll almost never see it. So step 3, get the most out of it. And you want to save it for the big jobs, right? Don't just go in here and try and get a proposal created on Fable. It's just going to waste your credit. It's going to waste your time. Get the big jobs done, okay? So here's what most people miss. The longer and harder the task, the bigger Fable's lead. Ask it for a quick one-liner and you're wasting it. Hand it the thing that would eat your whole afternoon and you're on to a winner. So 2 habits double what you get back. Number 1, let it run long, right? This isn't a ChatGPT conversation or a Claude conversation in chat here. This is something big. So it will stay sharp across millions of words inside one task. Don't chop a big job into teeny tiny chats. Give it the whole thing in one go and let it work end to end. Give it a memory. So when Fable keeps its own notes in a file as it works, the boost it gets is 3 times bigger than the boost Opus gets. So tell it to write its progress down and check it as it goes. So let's talk about the memory effect. Same test, same notes file. Opus 4.8, 1x. Then you have Fable 5, which is 3x. So both models play the long strategy game with a notes file. Fable's improvement was 3 times the size of Opus's, and it reached the final act 3 times more often. So here's the big brief, right? Here's the full job, start to finish, and you want to paste everything in here that you're going to use. I'll put these prompts below. They're not massive prompts. I'm sure you can come up with your own, but it will give you a starter just to keep you on the right path. And you just say, look, work through it end to end. Show me your plan first, then do every step. Keep going on your own unless you're getting genuinely stuck. Don't stop to check in between steps. Now, anybody who's used Claude Code for any serious build or anything, you'll be familiar with this type of thing. Claude Code can sometimes go down a rabbit hole of creating things and you can lose 2 or 3 hours because it just made assumptions. It's very bad at that. Assumptions, hallucinations and things. And so think of the job that you want to do and paste it all in and let it do its thing. Okay, just make sure your prompt is good. Maybe speak to Claude chat back and forward to then you get the perfect prompt to then go in, okay? And then use your memory. So as you work, keep a running notes file. Write down what you've done, what's left, and any decision you made and why. Read your notes before each step so nothing drifts and updates them as you go. For example, Fable made this particular page here. You can see it's a lot more interactive than any other ones. I could have made it even bigger and better, but I wanted to get this video out as it's just been updated. And so I've saved this as a skill. It's already something that I do to share. Let me actually delete some of this red text because it's quite off-putting. And so, yeah, like, obviously, you want to make sure that the memory's updated. Then you want to push back onto Fable and say, like, look, okay, how come you came to that decision? What was your thought process? Make a note of it. And then when you get to the output of an amazing piece of work that it does, tell it to save it, tell it to make notes, tell it to brief itself on what it's going to do for the next one, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, this video could be 20 minutes long, but I'm trying to keep it nice and short for you. So next up, step 4, watch it work. Hand it a real one. Hand it a real one and stay in the room, right? So pick something that actually matters and watch it. Watch the first run. Don't walk off yet. Read its plan, let it work, then check the result for yourself. You do this with any, especially with Claude Code and stuff, right? But a good first test is a messy spreadsheet or a long document where you want the full picture. The kind of job you'd normally block out an afternoon for, right? Make it worth it. So an example here would be your first real job. Here's X file. I want the full picture. Pull out every number that matters. Flag anything that looks off and tell me the 3 things I should act on first. show you're working so I can check it. And then when that works, like be over it, checking it, tweaking it. And then when it finally produces the great work, then that's when you can then go back to it and say, like, look, how do we get to this process? The next time I want to build something like this, or next month when I send out the report, I want you to be at that version 4 that we got to, confirmed, and so on. So step 5, Fable or Opus, when to reach for which. So Opus 4.8 is still brilliant, and it's quicker for everyday stuff. You don't need Fable to write a quick email. Here's the simple rule, at least what I think. So Opus 4.8, short and quick replies in day-to-day chat, drafting an email or a caption, fast turnarounds you want back now, simple questions with one answer. Opting for Fable 5, long and hard tasks, okay? Long multi-step jobs that run for hours, big code bases and whole project changes, deep research and number-heavy analysis, reading charts, screenshots and figures. Short and quick, reach for Opus, long and hard, reach for Fable. That's the whole decision. So just to finish off, this is where it shines. The jobs Fable was built for. Anthropic's early partners tested it hard. These are the places it pulls away. So engineering, right? This is writing whole code bases, project-wide changes that used to take a team months, done in a day to a production standard. Analysis, so deep number work, senior level finance and document reasoning. It reads the charts and tables and gets the nuance right. And then pictures into work. So looking at visionary, so rebuild an app from a screenshot, pull exact numbers off a detailed figure. It's the next, it's new best at seeing. And then we have long focused runs, so research. It stays on track across a week of work and it keeps on improving on its own notes. Knowledge work, so complex multi-step, so big analytical jobs that take real judgment. It gets through them in fewer turns. And lastly, building, so one-shot apps. Full working apps and simulations from a single brief. Things that took 100 prompts a year ago. So pretty crazy. So before you lean on it, what to watch? 3 honest things. The safety handoff can catch a harmless question now and then. So if a reply feels off, just rephrase it. It's your free on your plan until the 22nd of June. Then it moves to credits for a spell. It's the same model as Mythos underneath. So give it the respect you'd give any powerful tool. You stay in charge of the work, right? So if you want the full Fable 5 playbook, every prompt from this video, plus the real jobs to run on it, I'm going to actually show some of these live, ready to go. You can join Claude with Chris. It is $47 a month, cancel anytime. The link is in the description if you want up to date with and actually see on YouTube. I explain all of this, but in Claude with Chris, I actually put it into the real world so you can make money and save time with it. Anyway, hope you found it useful. Hit subscribe, hit like, and I'll see you in the next video.